Hello and welcome YouTube, this is Cookie Monster of ProForgeRacing, bringing you my Halo 3 A History of Race video, part 1.5 of 2. This one is an extension of part 1, which was the pre-mythic map pack maps, and this one does not take place in between parts 1 and 2, it is merely an extension, as I said, of part 1. After I made part 1, there was a few maps that I wasn't able to get in part 1, and after I made it, I got messages from people. Even Killer200 commented and said he really liked the video, and he provided me with all of the earliest maps. They were in a file share of a gamer tag called Helpless Child, which was another one of his on his friends list, and I didn't think to look in there. And I got the first banked wave map by Slick SMM 2010, got that for me. And I also threw in some of Blade Monkey 751's earliest maps, besides the ones you've already seen, and I also am throwing in a few maps made by Loco Skier 78, which were made right around the time when a lot of these were being made. He was the manager of LASTLAP for a while. But this first map here is called Speedway, made by See You Later, made October 3rd in 2007. This is the very earliest and first racetrack ever. This was the first Halo custom racetrack in Halo 3. This was made about 8 or 9 days after the game came out, which is crazy. As you can see, it was a super short map, just a circle. This one's called Wheelin, and it was made a day later on October 4th, also just by See You Later. Back in 2007. This one, the first one was called Speedway because I think it was supposed to be like an actual like NASCAR type racetrack because it was just a big circle. And this one's called Wheelin, although I forgot the H in wheel. It's kind of cool because you go out of the map a little bit, but I think this one is supposed to be, you know, more like off-roading, and the other one was supposed to be more of like a track. So it's definitely cool that he's switching it up. This next map here is called LASTLAP, and it was made by See You Later, edited by See You and Killer. This was made a day after Wheelin on October 5th, 2007, and this was the first map that Killer ever saw of See You Later. See You was working on this map when Killer joined his game and finally got to see some of his maps. He had already completed the first two. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm basing it on the dates that they were saved. This map was saved on the 5th. The other ones were saved on the 3rd and 4th as the final save, so I'm assuming that they were made first. But this next one's called Gravalation, made by See You Later and Killer200. Killer2000, excuse me, and it was made the same day, actually, October 5th. Yeah, in part 1 I kept saying Killer200. I guess it's pronounced Killer2000. Jeff H., of Halo Tracks let me know that. I always thought it was 200. But this was this is a really cool map. And this next one here is called Submerged, and this is genius to me. It's by Killer and CU, made October 6th, day after the last two. And that's so smart to me. What I did there, they have a teleporter set because the gate on high ground, you know, there's that big gate right in the middle, that starts off closed. And so you either have to wait, like, I think a while it opens on its own, or you can just go right there and turn it off. So he added a teleporter, or they added a teleporter to the area where you can, you know, press the button and open the gate. And then they have another teleporter going right back to the Mongoose. So it's, you know, it's genius. That's so smart. I don't know how they even, like, thought of that. These are really, really great maps. And these actually have inspired me to make a wave of Halo 3 maps, Halo 4 maps, kind of in this Halo 3 style. This one's called Tight Quarters by See You Later and Killer2000, and this was made the same day, October 6th. If you recall, in part 1, I said that in an interview that the head journalist of Halo Tracks at the time, Bree Marie 93, did with Killer200, Killer said that you know, after he saw LASTLAP and helped See You Later tweak it up a little bit, they ended up making a multitude of tracks together, as he said, I quote, a multitude of tracks, and this is that multitude. They literally made like 20 tracks in like a month. It's crazy. This one, it says just made by See You Later. This one's called DeathTrap, and it was made October 6th, again, the same day. They made a ton of maps. This one's really cool because it takes you out of bounds in Sand Trap, and unlike Snowbound, when you go out of bounds, obviously here there are landmines that try to blow you up, but it's not like sure death. You can, drive with while living. And then there's that huge jump, over the sand dune there, which is just incredible. And then he has all these explosions falling from the sky. It's pretty incredible that he already knew how to make, stuff spawn in midair, so early. This one's called Drag Race by See You and Killer. It was made October 8th of 2007. And this one, again, right there, as I told you before, that gate thing just blows my mind that they would think of that, But this one's called Drag Race. There are simply 2 mongoose. There's a really thin and short racetrack to the end. And I'm not sure if there's any way you can lap it, because there's 2 grav lifts pointing backwards at the end, but I think you're just supposed to do 1 lap. This one's called Impossible by See You Later and Killer 2000. And this one was also made October 8th. And I think this one is called Impossible because it is made on Guardian. And Guardian is, not at all a Forge map. It's, a Slayer map. And it's incredible that they were able to make a racetrack on here. So I'm assuming that's why they called it Impossible. But, it's still a fun map. I mean, it's not perfect, obviously, because it's on Guardian. It would be really hard to make a perfect map on Guardian. I don't think it's possible, but they did a good job. This one is called Super Mario Kart. Said it's made only by See You Later, made on October 8th. And this is a fun map. It uses a lot of gravity, like man cannons for... and the gravity lifts for jumps and stuff. Like right here, there's a big rock jump. A whole lot of fun. And, it's just a really good terrain track. And it's nice to see that right there I kind of got a little confused. I don't know how. It's pretty obvious. But, it's nice to see that everyone uses slightly different terrain in all these tracks. Because, I already showed you, a map by Killer 2000. And I showed you Verge by Whiskey Worm. Which he ended up recently remaking in Halo 4, which is awesome. But anyways, this next one's called Narrowscape. This one was made by See You Later and Mr. Frodo 24 on October 10th, 2007. Mr. Frodo made one of the most downloaded racetracks of all time called Niagara Falls. It was the 10th, and he was the administrator for Halo tracks for a long, long time. And this was, I guess, the first racetrack that he ever made, I'm assuming. I couldn't find any other really early dated racetracks by him, like 2007 pre-DLC maps, unfortunately, but I did have that one. This one is called Epic Track, and I believe it's by both CU and Killer, and this was made October 10th. This one was either made by both of them or just Killer. If it was made by just Killer, I apologize for crediting CU as well. It's just most of their maps were made together. But this one is really cool because it's made on Epitaph, and it's just, this is kind of like Guardian. It's just, how the hell do you make a racetrack on here? But it's really fun. This one's called Explosion by See You Later, and it was made October 12th of 2007. And I actually made a racetrack on here a long time ago too, but I tried to end mine with that huge orange lift, and that doesn't work for mongoose, unfortunately. So you had to go up the lift on foot and then get a new one. I ended up deleting that, and you won't see it in my history of race video because I deleted it. Because I needed, maps, more room for maps, and that one wasn't very good. But this is a cool map, it's, again, just like the other two, it's incredible that, they can make maps on such horrible Forge maps. This one is called Death by Bridge by Just See You Later, made October 21st, so I guess they took like a week off. But, this is a cool map. As you could see at the beginning there was a big bridge. That's pretty much the highlight of the map. There was kind of like fusion coils like blowing up underneath the bridge too, so it seems like, the bridge is gonna explode. And right here there's kind of like a minefield. There's a bunch of explosives and you have to kind of drive through it, so definitely a little bit scary, but really fun terrain track. And it's not too long either, it's just a good length. This one's called Splash Track, made by CU and Killer, made October 25th of 2007. And this one's a lot of fun. You go into the water a lot. I believe this was the first track you ever went into the water on, because his first map, Last Lap on this map, was you know, primarily over by the wheel and wasn't really over here. But anyways, this one's it's a lot of fun. Right there, if you saw that there was a gravity lift, you could just go off the gravity lift and you would hit the barrier of the map, and you would just slowly kind of bounce down. So you don't really need to take it for anything. It doesn't give you a boost. It's just kind of fun and just kind of ridiculous, you know. But overall, you know, it's a super fun map. I love those. They made a few like that. I love them. This one's called Monster Trucks, made by See You Later, October 29th of 2007. And this one's meant to use warthogs as opposed to mongoose. There's a few little jumps and stuff set up. There's even one that has mongoose there, like the cars that you're supposed to drive over. So I think that's kind of funny. But you know, definitely something a little bit different than just your average racetrack. Still a lot of fun. This next one is called Hot Wheels, made by See You Later. And this map is really cool. It is I obviously already showed his map Speedway V2, which was a Foundry map. It was his first and earliest Foundry map, made the day Foundry was released. But this one was another one of theirs, and I know these aren't like some of the earliest maps ever, because Foundry is a DLC map. But I figured I would just, you know, since See You Later and Killer 2000 made all... You know, they were the ones who, you know, introduced race and created it, so I figured I would just show all of their maps. Because you'll see every single one of their maps within my series, all of their, you know, early maps, but I wanted to get the last of them in. This one was made by See You Later, Killer 2000, and Blade Monkey 751. And this map is really, really awesome. This one is called Construction, and it has a theme and scenery to it. It's supposed to take place at a construction site, and it's, you know, a really fun racetrack. There was a cool lift there, and these three guys were, you know, pretty much the three biggest, you know, and earliest racetrack forgers at the time. Besides, you know, Whiskey Worm was up there with them, but these three were the original three, so it's kind of cool to see that they all finally made a map together. But it would have been cool if they made one with Whiskey as well, but anyways, you know, it's just a crazy map, and it's a lot of fun. There's a few little roller coaster sections. There's, you know, lots of scenery. There's that cool lift. So it's a very fun map. This one is called Wave Ripper, and the original is called Atomic Wave. This is by 00 Slick 00, and that is the original banked wave. That's the first banked wave ever, the beginning of that track. If you missed it, go back to the beginning of that track in the video. This is just a newer, modified version of it, but it's still that original map. Right there, you know, that's just the first wave ever, a turn/hill. You know, it goes up and down like a hill, but it goes left and right like or right and left like a turn does. And that's how the banked wave was created by Slick. This is, you know, as I said, a modified version. It's not the very original, but it is, you know, the same map. Now into Blade Monkey's maps. This one is called $200 Bridge, and it was made October 27th. And this is a pretty cool map. It's made, obviously, as you can see on Last Resort, and which is a remake of the Halo 2 map Zanzibar, which I loved on Halo 2, which was a lot of fun. But you know, doing this history can bring back so many memories, even, you know, back before race, all the way back to Halo 2, and there was, you know, some modded maps and, you know, custom made races in Halo 2, but nothing really, especially to the extent of Halo 3, Reach, and now 4. But this one goes into the water as well. He has a few maps, actually, that go out into the water, which are a ton of fun. I think they're kind of fun when they go out into the water. I don't know why. I just think it's kind of cool. And, you know, no one had ever really done that besides See You Later and Killer 2000. This one's called Dual Jump, made by Blade Monkey 751. And this is a cool map. It has two big jumps, which are the main feature, kind of like Death by Bridge by See You Later. This one was made October 29th of 2007, and right there is the first jump. I mean, they're pretty simple, but, you know, at the time there really weren't that many jumps in racetracks. Blade Monkey was really the stunt guy. His map actually Thunder Barrel just won the best racetrack ever of all time on halotracks.org for Halo Reach. And it also won the best stunt track because he makes crazy stunt maps. He came onto Halo Reach and only made 3 maps, and they all got, over 10,000 and close to 20,000 downloads. And they were all, some of the greatest racetracks made. And, he made some of the earliest racetracks ever in Halo 3 as well. So, and some of the best, in my opinion. He was just an incredible forger, and I hope he comes on Halo 4 and makes some maps at some point. But that was Death by Bridge, a really fun map. And this next one here is called Splashdown, and this one was made on November 18th. And this one was another one that goes into the water. It is a little bit different. Right here, there's a fun jump. There's a couple fun jumps. You'll always see stunts on Blade Monkey's maps. It's not one of his maps if it doesn't have a really cool, unique, fun stunt on it. That's just his thing. Even the first map I could find by him, ISO launch in the History of Race video part 1. You go up the huge launch in, isolation. That's just his thing. This one's called Rolling Stones V2, and it was made on the same date as the last map, November, or I guess a day later actually, on the 19th of November. And right there, as you can see, a huge jump. I ended up failing it, but not too badly. I still landed, but not in the correct landing zone. You're supposed to land on the ground. I landed on the staircase, but after I do one lap, I do show you the second lap, part of a second lap where I do land on the correct zone. But right there, another jump. As you can see, Blade Monkey is just a little stunt master. Makes such cool maps. And again, another jump. And I love that jump because after you go onto the jump and you start going flat, he's got these man cannons that push you forward, and it just works so perfectly and smoothly. It's a great jump. And this one right there, again, that's the first jump, just landing correctly. This one's called Bridge Holla by Blade Monkey, made the 23rd of November in 2007. It's just crazy to think that these maps are either 5 or more than 5 or just under 5 years old. That's a long time ago. But and I just got done playing a game on Ragnarok in Halo 4, so it's kind of cool to go back and play Valhalla, or at least look at Valhalla while I record the audio to this video. But as you can see, here's a big jump. That's Blade Monkey's thing. Just crazy fun maps with big jumps and stunts. And right there, that's why it's called Bridge Holla, because there's a big bridge at the end. So much fun. I love this map a lot. And this next map here is another one that goes in the water on Last Resort, called Over and Above, made November 23rd of 2007. And again, this is just another one of those really fun maps. Blade Monkey made I loved his maps a lot. They were just really exciting. And I never would have given his maps the time of day, if you will, back when I used to actually play Halo 3. But because they weren't double wides on Sandbox, but they're so much fun. As you can see a few seconds ago, there was he used a very similar jump that he used in Rolling Stones V2, but that's alright. It's still a fun map. I love his tracks. I never got a chance to play any of these maps pretty much in almost all of my Halo 3 history videos. I never played any of these maps before. This one's Airborne Reborn. You saw Airborne in part 1. This is a completely different version of it. It's just the beginning jump is the same. And again, he used the thing that Killer and CU did on their map Submerged and Drag Race, where you go up and open the gate with the button. But this one, a big jump at the beginning, another jump right there. That's Blade Monkey's thing. So much fun, and they're all really early maps too. And See You Later and Killer 2000 made some of the original racetracks ever, and some of the original ideas. Whiskey Worm made some of the original terrain tracks, but he made the original stunt tracks. This one's called Freefall, made December 9th of 2007, less than a week, I believe, before the Heroic map pack came out with Foundry, Standoff, and Rat's Nest. And this one is mostly a terrain track, except at the end there's a pretty cool stunt to it. And you go out of the map, actually. There's actually 2 stunts on this one. You go out of the map and then do a huge jump, which you'll see in a second, similar to DeathTrap by Killer 2000. I mean, not Killer 2000, See You Later, excuse me. How you go out of the map and then do a big jump. This one is a bit longer than a few of the other ones we've seen. There were some pretty long racetracks on Sandtrap, actually, that you know, weren't in the video. But right up here is the second stunt besides the big jump off the dune. It's just this bridge and then a jump that brings you all the way back up to the start. The first time I did that, I got stuck in the middle there, actually. But then there's this really cool and unique hill on the way down. This one's called Tiny Race by Loco Skier 78, and this was made on November 13th of 2007. This one is another standoff racetrack, but I just figured I would throw his maps in there because he's a different forger. He's excuse me, it's just hard to talk for, you know, so long at a time. He's a different forger, and I had shown none of his maps in any of my history videos at all. So it's definitely cool to get a few of them in there. It's a fun map. It's not quite as good as like Blade Monkeys and stuff, but it's still pretty fun. As I said, he was the manager of LASTLAP for a long time. He's been a member of the website since it pretty much started. This one's called Finge, made December 3rd. And this is one of, you know, only 2 racetracks I ever found on here. There was a third one I saw on LASTLAP but couldn't download, made by WizPop. And those are the only 3 racetracks I've ever seen on Narrows. Narrowscape by Frodo and CU, this map, and a map made by WizPop. Because I browsed through LASTLAP at one point and looked for really old maps because I wanted to try and find some of the originals, and I wanted to try and find some maps that were on, you know, different maps like this, and I saw that one by WizPop and I couldn't download it. And that was for when I was making the part 1 video, and I didn't think I was going to get any maps for this, and I was a little disappointed because I knew there was one out there and I didn't have it. But I ended up finding, you know, these 2, so I'm very happy for that. And this last map here is called Snow Race by Local Skier, made December 4th, just a day after the other one. And this is a cool map, kind of like a reverse version of Speedway. But thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I spent a lot of time trying to find all these maps. Excuse me for losing my voice a little bit there. It's just hard to talk so fast and say so many things for, you know, 23 minutes straight or so. So I apologize for that. But thank you guys very much for watching and supporting me in this Halo 3 history series.